G'day mates, it's Saeed here from Said With Courage. I am bringing another update. I think this is actually my first real update for the experiment. I figured I would recap what I've been doing, how it's been going, and sort of where I'm going next, I suppose, as well. So just a little quick introduction. I'm doing an N-of-1 science experiment, basically, where that means that I've got a sample size of one person, it's me. I will be... Oh, my phone's a little bit shaky there. So, yeah, a little quick intro if you're unfamiliar. It's basically a science experiment where N-of-1, it means there's a sample size of a single person. In this case, it'll be me. And I'm testing the effects of carnivore diet on my dandruff. So, I was super skeptical when I first heard about it because... about the theory. Because I was like, you know, I've had my dandruff my whole life. I haven't been able to do literally anything about it my entire life. Nothing's worked. I've tried all sorts of different shampoos, steroid shampoo, like real hippy-dippy, like woo-woo shampoos. Pretty much the only thing that I haven't tried is crystal healing. I've tried everything, as far as I'm aware anyway, of what exists. And even like this really nasty shit that I would like put in like right on my scalp. It was like this cream, and holy fuck, it was so nasty. It felt like acid, like chemical acid, that my doctor recommended, and yeah, it sucked. So anyway, my partner told me that she has this theory about like the donut theory of like skincare and skin health, basically. And the idea is that we are just donuts. People are just fucking donuts. We've got skin that goes all the way inside us and all the way outside us, and there's no actual inside. It's just a donut, right? So in that way, the theory goes that the things that we put inside our body immediately get reflected on the outside as well. My arm's getting hella sore. Holy fuck, how do people do this? Yeah, so things that we put inside gets immediately reflected on the outside when, for example, our liver processes shit, we need to get rid of it, but for some reason it can't go out the normal channels. Maybe if it's too small, or if it's like just gets skipped, or maybe a cell grabs onto it before it can get ejaculated. Lol. Well, it shows up on our skin, and that means that we can get pimples, inflammation, all sorts of weird shit like... you know, just like apparently dandruff. Anyway, apparently dandruff has a lot to do with what you eat. I've always been really skeptical of this. I figured I would fucking find out, right? I would just go carnivore and see. The thing that I'm doing, it's called an elimination protocol. And that's basically where you take out all of the foods that you don't, all of the foods that you don't absolutely need, and you go down to the absolute minimum nutritional requirement for what your body really needs, which is protein, fat, and that's it. Protein and fat. And as far as like, you know, vitamins and all of those sorts of little things, I get that from liver. I eat liver, chicken livers, raw. The trick is just to freeze them. Anyway, that's a whole thing. So I started on this experiment about a week or two ago, something like that. And I was like really low key, like really sort of chill about it in the beginning. I just sort of, I like to build the car while I'm on the highway, so to speak. And that means that I'm just getting it wrong and just, you know, fucking a bunch of stuff up and just figuring it out as I go along, basically. And that's what I've been doing with this. So right in the beginning, right from the start, there was just every day it was like an improvement, right? It's like, so first of all, I'm wondering, how am I going to even track things accurately? Like, I guess I'll take photos. Take photos of what? Well, I could like get a black, you know, piece of black paper while I like scratch my beard and then like catch the dandruff. But it's not very scientifically rigorous, is it? Because how long am I going to be scratching my beard for? Which motions am I going to use? There's just so many little considerations to think about. But all of that stuff, what I really like about N-of-1 sort of personal science, all of those considerations that you would have to really go through to make it rigorous, and statistically significant in a normal scientific setting, well, you don't really need to do that because the sample size is you. So the data is only fucking meaningful to you. Like, that's what makes this really cool, is that nobody else even fucking gives a shit unless they want to try and figure out what's going to work for them. In which case, even then, they're not going to copy what you've done. They might be able to learn from it, they might be able to borrow from it, but they're going to have to design their own experiment themselves, one that is going to work for them in their specific, way, and their specific, their resources, how much time they have to dedicate, all that sort of thing. So I've found it so incredibly helpful to just put stuff out there on this forum, on this community called Quantified Self, and like every single day, somebody offers feedback. One day someone's like, "Hey, have you thought about using a comb?" I'm like, "Oh my god, that's genius!" Because I've been filming the logs of as I go through my hair, but if I use a comb, it's just really, really clear. It shows up really clearly on a black comb, and that just makes it a little bit more scientifically rigorous, right? And so each time I'll come and post on there and sort of update and talk about what I've been doing, then I'd get a new suggestion. I'd get a new sort of improvement idea, and that's what's so cool about this method versus like the gobsat, good old boys sat around table sort of method, where these big nasty institutions which require all sorts of red tape and policy in order to keep things above board. Well, you can skip all of that stuff that they need, and you can just cut straight to the chase and do what you think is meaningful. And you can also get immediate feedback on that process every step of the way because it's community driven, right? Because it's just people sharing, and it's just people who are there for the passion and there for the interest. And they like helping people like fucking I do, and like probably, many of the people who, if anybody ends up watching this, do. So to me, yeah, I guess I just wanted to say that, so I'm doing this experiment, and what I've learned so far, by the way, I think it's working. And I haven't even gotten into that. And that's because literally more exciting to me than the idea of not having to deal with fucking dandruff is just the fact that I've found this community. It's so cool to be a part of a group of people who are all data nerds that are just really interested in learning about themselves and learning about their health and how they can optimize their nutrition. And so anyway, the biggest thing that I've taken away is just releasing my perfectionist, letting go of that critical voice that says, don't share, you're wasting people's time, don't put your shitty fucking home job Aldi version of your scientific project online, nobody gives a shit. And letting go of that shitty, nasty voice, and instead talking to myself with compassion and coming in with, it's okay. It's okay to be where you are. It's okay to start with a crayon before you're writing with ink. It's totally okay. And just giving myself that sort of compassion. That's been the biggest lesson for me. And I'm not gonna lie, that's something that it's been a lesson for me for a while. I want to say about 6 months since I first got onto this group, and I just keep learning it in deeper layers, in deeper levels. So yeah, bit of an update. I don't know, a bit rambly. I'll get better at it. Building the car on the highway. I just love that analogy. Learning to fly in the sky. Right? That was snappy. Excuse me. Sorry for the interruption. Let me just cut in there, Saeed. I realized that I didn't actually talk about the experiment very much. So, a little bit of info. before I chop this back in for the outro of that video. What have I done? I have been fasting on and off. I've been sort of progressively raising my level of fasting, and also while doing that, progressively lowering my level of non-meat nutrition, right? So I've eaten less and less of everything else, and less of everything in general. I'm sure there's a much better way to say that, but that's fine. And now today is the first day where I've made it all the way to the end of the day, and I've only had coffees, right? So I'm only fat fueled because I stick a bunch of butter in my coffees like a weirdo. So that's what I've been doing, and a couple of things that I've learned, especially probably the most important, is that I wasn't tracking my food intake very well, actually at all. And because of that, because I wasn't tracking it, what it's meant is that I don't have the data, which kind of sucks because it's working, right? I don't have the exact data to show what diet I had on what days, other than a vague sense of, well, it's been getting more carnivore. And today, finally, after about a week and a half, I'd say, I'm flipping over to full carnivore. The only thing that I'm going to maintain is butter, which is obviously a animal-based product, but it's not meat. But anyway, I'm only going to be having butter, meat, and salt from now on. The meats will be mostly steak cuts and livers as well, as I mentioned. So yeah. It's been working. It's very surprisingly to me. We'll see, won't we? It's really early days yet, and I can't really tease that out from, like, for example, seasonal changes. Maybe the weather also changes my dandruff, and it just so happens to be coinciding at the same time. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, thanks. Well, hopefully this is useful to somebody sometime, one day. I would really love to get people involved, and I would really love to just meet people who are involved in it, and just make friends who are involved in personal science and Quantified Self and N-of-1 type stuff. I'm going to be writing about this sort of shit on my blog, and as well as courage and vulnerability and all of that good, juicy mental health sort of geared stuff. So yeah. Also, I'm getting a fucking Oura ring. So excited. I'm getting a freaking Oura ring. I'm going to stick it right here. Yeah. This is the plastic size ring version. Like testing kit version. Oh, I'm so excited. Anyway, thanks for watching. Making it this far. Yeah, hang around. And maybe... who knows? Wish me luck. If I could get rid of my dandruff, that would be freaking awesome. And then, yeah, who knows? Maybe other people can. Cool. All right. I will see you around. Thanks for watching.